What if the most dangerous moment of your life isn't when you are asleep, but the exact second you wake up? What if what we call a khatri, spiritual awakening, isn't the end of the battle, but the sounding of a siren alerting your jailers that a prisoner is trying to escape? They never wanted you to know this. They built millennia of dogmas, social structures, and digital distractions to keep you believing that the search for light is a path of peace, flowers, and instant harmony. But look around you. Look at your life, right now. If you have started to question reality, if you've felt that pull in your chest saying this world is a cheap copy of something much greater, you probably haven't found peace. You found turbulence. You found resistance. This is not an accident. This is a defense mechanism. Welcome to the forbidden reality that was suppressed from the canonical texts and buried in the sands of Egypt, in Nag Hammadi, for nearly 2,000 years. We are talking about the danger of awakening, not to scare you, but to arm you. There is a specific Gnostic warning about how the Archons, the hidden rulers of this material matrix, come after you the moment your frequency shifts. On the surface, awakening looks like a blessing, and it is. But it is also a declaration of war. Have you ever felt that as soon as you decide to change your life, as soon as you decide to vibrate higher, chaos sets in? The car breaks down. An unexpected fight happens. A sudden wave of depression or anxiety hits you for no apparent reason. You think it's bad luck. You think it's the universe testing your faith. But the truth is far more sinister and mechanical than that. In the ancient texts, the divine spark is not described just as a poetic soul. It is a technology, a fragment of the Pleroma, the original fullness that was smuggled into this realm of dense matter. The false god, the demiurge, and his servants, the Archons, tolerate the sleeping cattle. They don't care about those who go with the flow, those who feed on fear and conformity. But you, who are starting to remember who you are a glitch in the system. You are a contagion risk. The true danger is not seeing the truth. The danger is seeing the truth without having the correct gnosis, the direct knowledge to navigate the storm that rises when the Matrix's immune system attempts to purge you. They come after you not with visible monsters and shadows, but using your own mind, your own limiting beliefs, and your own biology against you. They use what you love and what you fear. But here is the key they tried to hide. They only attack what they fear. If the resistance has increased, it's because you are close to the exit. Are you ready to burn the veils of your own mind and see reality as it is? Take a deep breath. The rebellion begins now. The false light and the predator's radar. To understand why the attack intensifies, we must first deconstruct the childish view of spirituality we've been sold. The Church, and even much of the modern New Age, sells the idea that enlightenment is a linear process of accumulating virtues. They say if you are good, the world will be good to you, but that is kindergarten logic. Gnostic cosmogony, revealed in texts like the Hypostasis of the Archons or the Apocryphon of John, paints a radically different picture. This world is not a school created by a loving father to teach moral lessons. This world is a construct, a flawed copy, generated by an ignorant entity who proclaimed himself the only God, the demiurge. In this system, your consciousness is not a guest, it is a power source. The system is closed, entropic. It needs to feed to continue existing. And the favorite food of the Archons, those frequency parasites operating behind the scenes of material reality, is dense human emotional energy. Fear, desire, anger, despair, and above all, the feeling of powerlessness. When you are asleep, living on autopilot, emotionally reacting to everything the news or social media throws at you, you are an efficient battery. You are stable. You are not a bother. But then, something happens. The epinoia, the intelligence of light, the memory of your origin in the Pleroma, wakes up. You start to meditate, to question, to seek sovereignty. What happens energetically? You shine, literally. Your frequency signature changes, and in a universe of darkness and predation, turning on a light doesn't just attract others seeking the light, it attracts the moths, it attracts the wolves. Awakening puts you on the radar. That is why the danger exists. It is not a divine punishment. It is an automated response from a control system that has detected a unit stepping out of conformity. Think about how this manifests today, in your modern life. You decide you will focus on your purpose. You decide you will no longer engage in online hate. What does the algorithm do? Social media, which is the most perfect technological manifestation of the archontic mind, begins to bombard you. The feed changes. It shows you exactly what triggers you, what makes you feel inadequate, what pulls you back into polarity and anger. This is not coincidence. It is design. The Archons operate through mathematical patterns of repetition and distraction. They need you to forget. They need your attention, which is the most valuable currency in the cosmos, to be diverted from your inner soul to external noise. They offer you the from false light, the promise of happiness through consumption, external validation, likes, status. And when you refuse this false light, they increase the pressure. Pause now for a second. Breathe and observe your body. Is there any tension in your stomach or chest when you think about assuming your true power? That tension isn't yours. It is the parasite reacting to the possibility of your freedom. Acknowledge that sensation. Say internally, "But I see you." This is the beginning of the separation between who you are and what they implanted in you. The Mirror of Yaldabaoth. Internal sabotage. Digging deeper into the Nag Hammadi texts, we find an even more disturbing and liberating revelation. The texts tell us that the Archons envy humanity. Why would a god or angels envy flesh and blood beings trapped in a world of suffering? Because we have something they do not. The divine spark. The ability to create. The direct connection to the ineffable Father, Mother, the true source beyond this simulation. The demiurge, Yaldabaoth, is described as a blind craftsman. He can shape matter, but he cannot give it true life. He can only imitate. He is the great mimic. And how does the great mimic attack you? He creates nothing new. He uses what is already inside you. Here lies the greatest danger of awakening. The distortion of your own thoughts. The Archons have no original creative power, so they hijack your creative capacity. They insert thoughts into your mind, but they do it in your own voice. Have you noticed how the voice of doubt, the voice that says, "You are not good enough. Who do you think you are?" Or, "This is too dangerous," sounds exactly like you? It is the camouflaged attack. They use your limiting beliefs as entry portals. If you believe, deep down, that you are not worthy of love, the Archons will manifest external situations to prove that belief, feeding on your resulting pain. If you fear scarcity, they will amplify every economic news story, every unexpected bill, to keep you in a vibration of survival, where connection to the Pleroma is nearly impossible. Awakening is dangerous because it brings these beliefs to the surface. It's like cleaning a dirty basement. The dust rises and chokes you before the air gets clear. The Archon is your distorted reflection. It is the shadow projected by your light. The stronger the light, the denser the shadow initially seems. Look at society today. See how we are conditioned to seek identity in external labels. I am anxious. I am depressed. I am poor. When you say, I am, you are using the divine power of creation to define your reality. The system wants you to use that power to imprison yourself. It gives you diagnoses, labels, and political tribes so that you voluntarily lock yourself in small conceptual boxes. The trap of the demiurge is to make you believe that the 2D divine spark is just a pretty metaphor, and not a literal technology that can burn through the programming. They try to sabotage this technology by filling it with viruses, guilt, shame, and fear. The turbulence you feel is not you failing. It is the system trying to recalibrate its control over you. It is the fever that comes before the healing. But if you don't have this gnosis, if you think the turbulence is a sign that you are wrong, you will retreat. You will go back to sleep to make the pain stop. And that is what they want. Surrender. The return to numbness. Let's do a micro practice of discernment right now. Think of the last time you had a brilliant idea or an impulse to change your life. What came immediately after? A thought of doubt, a memory of a past failure. Visualize that negative thought not as being yours, but as an external transmission. Radio interference trying to jam your signal. Don't fight it. Just observe it as if it were a cloud passing by, or an annoying pop-up on a computer screen. You are not the pop-up. You are the user observing the screen. The war for attention and the temple of silence. The third key to understanding this attack is comprehending the battlefield. The battlefield is not the physical world. It is your attention. In the Gospel of Philip, it is said that truth did not come into the world naked, but it came in symbols and images. The world cannot receive truth in any other way. The Archons know this. They flood your visual and mental field with symbols and images of degradation, of artificial urgency, of gross materialism. They want to occupy every cubic millimeter of your mind so that no space remains for silence. Why silence? Because in silence, communication with the Pleroma is re-established. In the noise, you only hear the demiurge. The danger of waking up is that you become hypersensitive to this noise. What was once harmless entertainment now feels toxic. Idle conversations drain your vital energy. You feel isolated. And in that isolation, the Archons whisper, "You are alone. You are crazy. Come back to us." They use your biological need for social belonging as a weapon. They created a society where being awake is to be a pariah. But understand this, isolation is actually an incubation chamber. It is the necessary protection while your new skin grows. The attack intensifies because they know that if you can cross the valley of isolation and find your strength in solitude, transforming loneliness into solitude, you become untouchable. A human being who needs no external validation, who fears no scarcity, and who knows they are immortal in spirit, is the most dangerous weapon against the Matrix. You stop being a battery and become a generator. The Archontic attack tries to convince you that your sensitivity is a weakness. They call you too emotional or unstable. But that sensitivity is your radar turning back on. It is your ability to detect the lie. They intensify the attack because they are terrified. They are seeing the mundane fire, the fire of base passions and destruction, being replaced by the incorruptible light. And that light burns everything that is false. Pause now Close your eyes for a brief moment if you can. Feel the weight of gravity. Feel the air entering. Realize that despite all the chaos, all the thoughts, there is a part of you that is perfectly calm. A silent witness at the back of the room of your mind. That witness is the spark. It is prior to your name, prior to your body, prior to this world. The Archons cannot touch that witness. They can only try to distract it. Their game is distraction. Your move is focus. Soul technology, the escape protocol. Now that you understand the mechanism, that awakening attracts attention, that they use your own thoughts against you, and that the goal is to steal your attention. We need the practical solution. Knowing is not enough. Gnosis is applied knowledge. How do you navigate the turbulence without being dragged back to sleep? How do you use this soul technology to repel the parasites? The answer is not in fighting them. Fighting the darkness only creates more conflict, and conflict is food for them. The answer lies in dissolution through sovereignty. You must become sovereign over your own inner kingdom. Here is the protocol, the armor of light, in 3 steps that you must apply immediately when you feel the attack intensify. Step 1. Radical dissociation, the observer. The first step, as soon as anxiety, fear, or doubt hits, is to stop everything. Freeze. Do not react. Reaction is what closes the feeding circuit. Instead, practice radical dissociation. Visualize yourself stepping out of your body and looking at the situation from above. See yourself feeling anger or fear. Say to yourself, "This is an event that is happening, but it is not me." By becoming the observer, you cut the power cord. The Archon needs identification. I am afraid. When you shift to observation, there is fear in this body. The parasite loses its grip. You become slippery. Step 2. The revocation of consent. The lawgiver. The universe operates under the law of consent, even in this distorted reality. Often, we give unconscious consent to be drained through belief contracts we accepted. Life is hard. I deserve to suffer. You need to revoke this verbally and energetically. Stand up, if possible. Use your voice. Sound frequency is powerful. Declare with authority, I revoke any permission given, consciously or unconsciously, for any entity to feed on my energy. I close my doors. I am sovereign in this temple. This is not just psychology. It is a spiritual decree. You are rewriting the code of your firewall. Feel the authority vibrate in your voice. You are not asking, you are commanding. Step 3. Alchemical transmutation, the inner fire. Now that you have stopped the drain and closed the door, you have dense energy, the fear or anger that remained, trapped in your body. Do not swallow it. Transmute it. The Gnostics knew that the divine spark can turn lead into gold. Visualize this dense emotion as a black coal in your solar plexus. Now, visualize your divine spark, a white and gold light, cold and pure, descending from the Pleroma and enveloping this coal. See the coal being consumed and transformed into fuel for your own light. Use the energy that would have been used to destroy you as momentum to create, to move, to do something positive. Turn the attack into art, into exercise, into focused work. The Archon sent you trash. You recycled it into treasure. This is the ultimate victory. By applying these 3 steps, observe, revoke, transmute, you stop being easy prey. You become a heresiarch against the order of the demiurge. The danger of awakening diminishes because you stopped reacting like a victim and started acting like a creator. Will the attacks decrease? Eventually, yes. Because a predator does not waste energy hunting prey it cannot eat. They will look for easier targets, and you will be left in peace to build your bridge back home. The summoning of the awakened. Look back now at the journey we have taken in these minutes. We started with the justified paranoia that they are watching us, passed through the understanding that the monsters are mental and social mechanisms designed to suppress your divinity, and arrived at the practical tool of sovereignty. The danger of awakening is real. Yes, it is the danger of entering a war unarmed. But now you have the weapons. You have the map. The narrative that you are small, weak, and sinful is dead. That was the lie that kept you in prison. The truth is that you are an extension of the infinite source. Dreaming you are human, trapped in a simulation that is desperately trying to keep you asleep because it is afraid of what you will do when you fully wake up. The turbulence you feel is the sound of the bars shaking. Don't stop now. Don't go back to sleep just because awakening is uncomfortable. The comfort of sleep is the comfort of the coffin. We are a silent legion. You are not doing this alone. Every time you refuse a negative thought, every time you choose creation over consumption, every time you revoke consent to be drained, you are healing a part of the collective grid. You are clearing the path for others to wake up too. I want to know who is ready to assume this responsibility. Who is ready to face the danger and walk through it? If you made it this far, if you felt the resonance of these words in your bones, leave a comment below declaring, "I am sovereign." Don't write this for the algorithm. Write it for yourself. Write it as a decree, a mark in time that says today, victimhood ended. Share your reflections. How did the Archons try to stop you this week? By exposing their tactics, we weaken them for everyone. Subscribe if you want to continue receiving the codes that history tried to erase. Join us. The battle for your soul is happening now, and the only way to win is to remember. Will you choose to forget for comfort, or will you choose to remember for freedom? The key is in your hand. The door is open. Walk through.